Celebrate his kingdom of love. Rejoice.
I'm so grateful to welcome you all to the 14th Multi-Millionaires Graduation Ceremony. Number 14 is a perfect number as it speaks of a double portion of divine power. It's no wonder why Papara had 14 names in all. Our ancestors in time immemorial used any of the 14 names to refer to the same person from time to time. According to our traditional history from time immemorial, contained in our cultural Bible, passed from generation to generation, this island was originally owned and ruled by a certain man or king. He was the only person who lived on this island and controlled everything for himself. Papara claims. He claims Mongol who were birthed out of Papara much later. For those of you from other language groups, Mongol is eagle in English and Huhu is hornbill in English. Untuk bisin Mongol mitra bisin Trangau na Huhu and Kokomo. It's a long story and would take me several volumes of books to explain. In fact, the cultural Bible handed over to me from chiefs of Mumarure and Temure, Custom King, has 24 books in all. I showed you a bundle of 24 special palm sticks in one of my recent speeches. In the process of time, Papara did another couple of clans, lifting the total number of major clans to 4. That's why today here in Chihuahua, we have the Ramopo Council of Chiefs, or traditional government on the ground. RA stands for Rangoru, MO stands for Monko, PO stands for Poporo, and HU stands for Huhu, the 4 major clans. There are hundreds of sub-clans and family clans, too many to enumerate at this stage. They develop and break out of the major clans from time to time for various reasons beyond the scope and focus of the speech. 14 names of Papara. When Papara appeared to our ancestors and provided them all kinds of food through a special clay pot, they called him Tantano. To the Jews, he was Jehovah Jireh. To our ancestors, he was Papara of Tantano. When Papara appeared to our ancestors and told them the word of existence, story, and history of creation, they called him Coconut. Again, to the Jews, he was Jehovah Hosenu, and to our ancestors, he was Papara Coconut. When Papara appeared to our ancestors and healed them from all their diseases and sicknesses, they called him Mikai. Again, to the Jews, he was Jehovah Rapha, and to our ancestors, he was Papara Mikai. I can go on and on, giving all the 14 names of Papara in Amotria language, including their meanings and equivalents in Hebrew, but time and space do not allow me for now. I'll do it another time. I only wanted to mention the above because today is our 14th graduation ceremony and 14 is special. Moreover, I happen to be the 14th generation from Papara in the present civilization. Moreover, recently I mentioned 14 types of wildly grown foodstuff our ancestors ate before Tantano came and provided them all kinds of food. The 14 types of wild foods I mentioned recently were 1. Bugro, Silkai, Pinu, Kikata, Runuwa, Rita, Uhiwa, Ituko, Putiko, Kukong, Konai, Pirato, and Kunatru. 14 of them. 14 denominations of currency. Moreover, there are 14 denominations or memes of traditional currency. In our Motra language, the 14 denominations of currency were 1 Mawai, Pulakana, Kureo, Brunei, Prupendro, Momoru, Sariai, Kupu, Isa, Karoni, Kia, No, Pipiro, and Kenopi. The money supply and economy. In other words, currency and money supply in our traditional economy began immediately after providing them all kinds of food. Again, Panama's first task to provide them food was to provide them food. His second task was to show them how to make food gardens. He did so by creating all kinds of food crops by spoken word. His third task was to teach them how to create memes or share money from seashells. In other words, the economy, money supply, trade banking and currency have always been an integral part and parcel of the system of Papala since time immemorial. It was only suppressed by our colonizers when the control system came over us. Therefore, if we have to arise as a truly debt-free, independent and sovereign nation, we just have to go back and learn from our origin. There's no need to look elsewhere when the answer solution is right here in our midst. That's exactly how I developed the 24 world banks of the new system. I did not take or learn the concept from our colonizers because that would bring me under foreign control. I had to come back to the very origin and start all over again. Over the years, many critics accused me of trying to reinvent the wheel, and I responded saying, I'm not reinventing the wheel. I'm just renewing, reviving, rebirthing, restoring, reconstructing, and recreating a new world. Even a new heaven and new earth, new Jerusalem, new golden age, or whatever you like to call it. If I did not return to the original Bougainville up here, I would continue to be an island of sorrow and the billions of dollars worth of foreign debt control. See how our ABG is struggling to find a way out after knowingly surrendering to PNG and accepting foreign loans. ABG's foreign debt reached 9.7 billion Kina by 2011. Instead of saving our island from foreign control, our leaders knowingly traded our island to the dogs again. PNG's foreign debt is even more. Its financial debt is about 43 billion PNG Kina, and its treasury debt is about 63.7 billion. Its colonial debt, system debt is even much more in the trillions. These are just a few things most revolutionaries do not understand. They can't tell the difference between borrowed currency and unborrowed currency. They think that all monies are the same. Therefore, immediately after making declarations of independence, they look for money to finance the independence. And as expected, after finding that there's no money, they surrender back to the system. That's exactly what happened to Bougainville. For many decades, they have been fighting for independence. Our first declaration of independence in 1975 was defeated because our leaders did not have any money to finance their independence. Our second declaration of independence in 1990 was almost defeated again until I came back to my island and backed up our hero and king, late Francis Honor. His deputy, late Joseph Kabwe, led everyone back to PNG, arguing that he would convince PNG and the world powers at the round table negotiating table. His argument that services were more important than independence convinced everyone to follow him. Of course, his argument was valid and absolutely necessary at the time. Our people needed basic government services. I don't have any problems with it. The only thing our leaders failed to understand is the difference between borrowed currency and unborrowed currency. Also, they could not understand that money comes with a system. Bougainville independence. Our then leaders did not come to figure out the difference between money and system. The other day, I was just watching one of the crisis videos taken in Boeing. I saw people arguing about services, money, and independence. They wanted independence, but they also wanted services and had to make a tough decision. I saw Andrew Merrick arguing that we can talk to PNG government about peace between Bougainville and PNG, but services must be funded by non-government organizations, NGOs, etc. The argument was that if we get funding from PNG, we will not get our independence and only get some form of autonomy. I noted that these were some of the kinds of arguments that were going on in the minds of our Bougainville leaders during the crisis. They wanted independence, but they also wanted services. And they knew that if they get funding from PNG, they would lose the declaration of independence forever, because the funder always has an upper hand over the borrower. The rest of the story is history. The need for services overrode the insistence for independence, and they all finally agreed to just get funding from PNG and negotiate the way through for independence if ever possible. That was what forced me to quickly come over to Bougainville and enter into agreements with revolutionary leaders, Francis Honor and his deputy Joseph Kabwe. Joseph Kabwe signed the agreement on 17 November 1997, and Francis Honor signed the agreement the following month on 19 December 1997. In PNG, I got the Prime Minister Bill Skate to sign the agreement. 4 to 5 months later, I commenced the Uvistract system on 26 May 1998. The rest of the story is history. You and I are here now gathered for this multi-millionaire graduation ceremony because of Uvistract. Without Uvistract, Bougainvilleans would still be living in a state of confusion regarding their long struggle for freedom, independence, and sovereignty. There is absolutely no independence under the PNG ABC control system. They will keep negotiating, and keep negotiating for independence, and we never get it. It's very simple. Even the nation of Israel could not come out of slavery from Egypt by negotiation alone. Roundtable discussion could not win the heart of King Pharaoh. Moses had no choice but to just risk his life and come out of Egypt with the power of God alone. Negotiation for independence or sovereignty will never ever work if you cannot take the risk of establishing your own sovereign system. That's why those who surrender to PNG will never ever convince PNG to grant them independence. Just look around and see for yourself. Currently there are about 24 plus presidents or candidates fighting to become the president of ABG. Every candidate is saying that he or she will negotiate for PNG for Bougainville's independence. They just don't know anything about what real independence and sovereignty is. Since they already surrendered to the system, they should just say simple things. Like, when I become president, I will continue borrowing more money for more services as usual, while the king is setting up Bougainville independence and sovereignty. There's no need to lie to our people. Our people are now fully knowledgeable because Uvistract has opened their eyes. They are now able to understand what real independence is and how it will be done. PNG cannot allow Bougainville to become independent because the overall conventional system won't allow it. And even if PNG somehow gives a green light to in the next 30 years or so, though most unlikely, Bougainville will still be under the borrowed currency system. It will never be independent because there's no real independence and sovereignty under that system. The only true freedom, true independence, and true sovereignty is in the new system. Difference between money and system. From the foregoing, you can now see the difference between money and system. Money is just one little part of a big system. Uvistract is a complete universal system of its own. It has more than 10 subsystems. I established these subsystems because I noticed earlier on that foreign control of our island came through about 10 main subsystems. There were 1, the monetary system, 2, banking system, 3, political system, 4, governing system, 5, trade and commerce system, 6, legal and judicial system, 7, education, training, health system, 8, information, media, communication system, 9, religious and doctrinal system, 10, defense and military security system, 11, calendar regulatory system, and so on. I don't have much time to go through each of them, but very quickly, 1, monetary system. Our global monetary system deals with questions of borrowed currency and unborrowed currency, world reserve currency, forex, etc., etc. Uvistract is a total of 40 complementary currencies, including 4 cryptocurrencies. The current global economic crisis that started in 2007 does not affect us in any way. While nations and people under that system are greatly affected, our people have been prospering only. Your monies were making huge profits. That's why I'm graduating you today as multi-millionaire world financiers. Even our trade funds under the borrowed currency system have now multiplied to trillions. That's why I'm graduating you as multi-millionaires world financiers. 2, banking system. Our global banking system deals with issues such as federal, reserve banking system, money transfers, etc. Our banking system promotes 24 world banks and funds are wired via RIFTrans rather than SWIFT. 3, political system. Our global political system promotes theocracy, not democracy. Democracy is a Greek philosophy promoting demonstrations, divisions between rich and poor, etc. Theocracy is what our ancestors originally had at Papara. Everyone knew their God face to face, who provided them all kinds of food through a clay pot and so on. Today, we just have to arise and take our place in God. 4. Governing system. Our global governing system promotes rank and Royal Assembly of Nations and Kingdoms rather than UN. Our governments and nations operate under rank. Rank has 5 levels of membership, namely subscription membership, associate membership, affiliate member, partner member, and founding member. 5. Trade and commerce system. A global trade and commerce system deals with all issues of trade and commerce and establishes new trade links between our round nations and governments. 6. Legal and judicial system. A global legal and judicial system deals with questions of legality, especially on the international front. Even locally and regionally, our Attorney General's office was able to defend us whenever the need arose. In the process of our establishment, we won about a total of 7 court cases, 1 in Australia, 4 in PNG, and 2 in Bougainville. 7. The education training system. Our education training and health system was set up to provide education to our kids and people. Here in Tondo, we have Tika Tondo International Christian Academy. Locally and nationally, the system also supports and promotes UPAC schools around the island run by various leaders. Example, Pastor Ndumende runs an AC school, Opia High Priest, Working UP runs several UPAC schools in Emperor Range. Same principle applies to other countries. It's very important that we train up our kids in the new system. Therefore, now that our monetary system is operational, we will make sure to provide the best education we can provide to our kids. The curriculum and syllabus is derived from the AC school system with modifications to suit the needs of our people. Regarding health system, you can see already how the World Health Organization and UN affiliate organization is currently being sued by various governments and countries for orchestrating the spread of coronavirus pandemic. The UN and World Health Organization can no longer be trusted. Presently, all the countries of the world, conventional world, are subject to the UN and therefore have no choice whatsoever but to follow everything the World Health Organization instructs them to do. That's why the World Health Organization has been very successful in killing millions of people around the world. I foresaw all these issues decades ago and established the Uvistract system as an alternative. 8. Information media and communication system. Everyone on the planet today is massively affected by the kind and the amount of information being downloaded through the media, internet, etc. Very rich and powerful elites still control the mainstream media. Everyone has been dancing up and down to the tune of music being downloaded to them. Most of the information they download is against our system and merely promotes the mindsets, etc. That's why we also set up our own media information communication system to distribute and download correct and verified information to our citizens, clients, investors, officers, etc. around the world. 9. The religious and doctrinal system. Religious and doctrinal system is another major area where foreign control is the strongest. Everyone sitting here listening to me right now is a member of a named church. Here in Bougainville, the majority are Catholic, second is Methodist or United Church, and third is SDAs. In the early 1970s, Pentecostals came in and a lot of people, including my parents' family, were converted. Many other churches and denominations came in thereafter, especially after the crisis, and took their share of the spoil. I'm just sharing this to state again that religion is one of the most powerful forces that came upon us under the Western civilization. Today, everyone is looking up to the headquarters overseas. For instance, Catholics look to Rome, Italy, or Vatican for direction, while Methodists or United Church folk look to England for answers or guidelines. SDAs look to the headquarters in America, so as Pentecostals, JWs, Mormons, etc. Also, Lutherans look to Germany for solutions, while Anglicans in Oral and Millbay look to England for directions. It seems that every Christian is looking for answers to come from overseas or even from the sky somewhere. Their mindset has been fixed by their beliefs and doctrines such that they must wait for guidelines, directions, and solutions to come from their church headquarters. That's why I said religion is one of the most powerful and difficult tools to deal with. Our colonizers had truly done a great job. defense, military, and security. The present conventional system, world system, runs in such a way that the world military is headquartered and controlled from America, while world banking is controlled from the city of London in London, UK, and the world religion is controlled from Rome or Vatican. Of course, World Bank and IMF are headquartered in America for world control and domination. As the world military power, America makes the final decision regarding the fate of any nation. I'm just mentioning this to state again the importance of defense, military, security in our system. Of course, as a sovereign country, we are friends to all and enemies to none. We make our own decisions on anything regarding the welfare of our people. Finally, calendar regulatory system. Our calendar system is also 100% sovereign, similar to all other sovereign subsystems. Our year begins in the month of Jasper, or July, of the Roman Gregorian calendar. Because here on Bougainville, the coconut tree bears fruit in July. In Siwa, the coconut tree is called Moi, and the year is also called Moi. Our week begins on light day, which is Wednesday of the Roman Gregorian calendar, due to three main reasons. Firstly, the new system was dedicated to the Lord on Tuesday, 26 May 1998. I also graduated on Tuesday, 30th of June 1998, to begin the new system practically on Wednesday, 8th of July 1998. Therefore, Tuesday became my rest day or Sabbath day, and Wednesday became my working day or first day of the week. Secondly, when I checked with our cultural Bible, I confirmed that before the Western colonization came upon us, our week started on Wednesday. I also confirmed from the Ophir High Priest, Wangiki Ope, in Emperor Range. Thirdly, when I checked Judaism, I also saw that the calendar of the Essene Hebrews also started on Wednesday as the first day of the week. I checked on the Dead Sea Scrolls discovered in 1946-47 and confirmed all this. Therefore, with three confirmations from three different unrelated sources, I went ahead to formalizing my calendar. There are a few more little changes that will be added to make the calendar more efficient than the Roman Gregorian calendar. I do understand that it will take time for people to get used to it. That's not a problem with me, as even the Gregorian calendar took about 500 years before the rest of the world accepted it. There's not much difference between the Roman calendar and the Gregorian calendar. They are both pagan calendars. Pope Gregory did not change anything from the Roman calendar apart from removing about 11 days. That was the only change he did. The names and days and months of the Roman calendar remained the same in the Gregorian calendar. Yet the International did not fully accept the Gregorian calendar for more than 500 years. As for the Uvistract calendar, I don't think it will take too long for the world to accept and follow it. I can clearly see from the fast progress of our system around the world that it will take a very, very short time for the countries of the world to follow the new calendar. Our calendar is very simple. Our first day is light day because God created light on the first day. Our second day is sky day because God created the sky and the firmament on the second day. Our third day is plants day because God created plants, trees and grass, etc. on the third day. Fourth day is solar day because God created the sun, moon and stars on the fourth day. Our fifth day is creature day because God created creatures on the fifth day. And sixth day is man day because God created man on the sixth day. And seventh day is rest day or Sabbath because God actually rested on the seventh day. Our calendar months were taken from the Revelation 21 in the Hebrew Christian Bible. As said in my most recent speech, all the 12 foundational stones named are here on this little dotted island. Experts have confirmed the documents are available if you need further evidence. Summary of the system. Let me just very quickly summarize that the new system or civilization I've tried to portray in this short speech already matches, equalizes, and replaces the other global system that God used to. A system is a combination of different things coordinated, working together for the purpose it was designed. The other world system that was imposed on us during colonization will no longer be around. We will replace it and move on. We don't have to worry about it anymore because our new system is now operational and working as designed. After this graduation, I'm going to send you out with full access to your funds so you can use it in replacing the old colonial system. Now, as you can see from the foregoing, the new global system we've established is not just about money. Money is just one of a little part of the big system. I've outlined more than 10 subsystems, different subsystems of Uvistract, so you can see clearly that money is only one little part of the system. Money is not everything. I've heard some people saying HM is only dealing with money and that they will be doing much bigger things than me. I've also heard some people say that HM is only dealing with physical things, I'll be dealing with spiritual matters. Both statements are funny, as you can see. I'm not only dealing with money. Money only makes up 1/10 of the big system. Moreover, I'm not just dealing with physical things, I'm also dealing with spiritual matters. Spiritual matters come under the 9th subdivision called religion and doctrinal system. Even the Universal Body of Christ here in Tonu comes under that subdivision of the system. In my capacity as king and emperor, I have 4 major tasks or responsibilities. First, I have a universal vision. 2, I have a universal strategy. 3, a universal coordination. And 4, a universal finance. Everyone I deal with is a specialist. They know exactly what they are doing. They may be pastors, teachers, evangelists, apostles, or prophets. Or they could be bankers, soldiers, politicians, prime ministers, presidents, pilots, etc., etc. My job is simply to strategically coordinate and finance them according to the vision. If you are saying that NM is doing a small thing compared to what you will be doing, think again. Don't be high-minded, because I'm not just dealing with physical things, I'm also taking care of the spiritual matters. Everything, whether physical or spiritual, are all part and parcel of the system. It's just like mankind. Man is a spirit, soul, and body. These 3 components make up a person. You can't separate your physical man from your spiritual man, because the moment you do so, you will die. It's all these 3 components that make up your personality. I hope you are hearing me correctly. Even the colonial system does not deal with money only. No, it deals with all the above 10 subsystems I've outlined. The main difference with the 2 systems is that the other system was based on principles of lack and scarcity, deficiency and insufficiency, while the new system is based on abundance and surplus, or sufficiency and more than enough. There are more differences, but time and space do not allow me to type them here. We are here to turn the world upside down and downside up. Everyone out there thinks that nothing ever will happen in this world. Every 5 years they hear politicians campaigning and declaring that they will do much bigger things for them. Yet nothing ever happens. The world is still going from bad to worse. 5 years ago, Bougainville had the best educated, best experienced, and best all-rounded politicians elected to parliament in ABG. Everyone was saying, this is it, this is it. The team will definitely deliver independence for Bougainville. But as you all know, the best political team finished its term in high-level corruption without even coming closer to getting independence for Bougainville. Why? Because there's no independence under the PNG-ABG system, period. Fellows, the only thing that is happening in the world today is, in terms of world transformation, is the Uvistract system. Everything else is as good as old news. I have endeavored to explain the system to some degree. From another level, Uvistract system was established to replace the system that was lost at the Garden of Eden when Adam fell from grace. The power that transferred from Adam to the serpent that has now been transferred back to Adam again. Adam was given full power and full authority to rule the earth in the kingdom of heaven, but he lost it to the serpent. 2,000 years ago, the firstborn came and defeated the serpent on the cross. Then he said in Revelation 2 that he will give the power and authority to another, and authority, including the morning star, to someone who fights the good fight to the very end. He was talking about the last born. That time is here now. Let Adam rule over now from his Garden of Eden. He is ready now. His political system is ready now. His funds are ready now. That's why he's graduating his people as multi-millionaires so they can go out to transform the world and rule the world for the kingdom of heaven. Conclusion. Let me conclude my short speech now and proceed to the actual graduation ceremony. From our official records so far, we have more than 3,000 people registered for graduation. More clients and investors have registered from PNG compared to Bougainville. However, so far, I've graduated just over 1,000 people. That means I still have to graduate another 2,000 plus people. The number could even increase towards the final week of our 40 days, 40 nights program. So in order to accommodate everyone, we may have to conduct graduation ceremonies every single day. But as you all know, it's very tiring for me and our officers. Conducting graduations every other day or couple of days is better for me. Therefore, with 3,000 to 4,000 clients or investors queued up for graduation, we will have to come up with a new strategy and let you know. We'll let you know during our next graduation on Monday, 10th of September. In closing, let me assure you that everything is moving perfectly according to its timing. Nothing will delay, nothing will go wrong, everything will go smoothly until we graduate everybody. Also, I can assure you that just before our closing on the 16th of September, there will be very good news. I will break the good news to you and the right time. Just finally, just in closing, someone asked me, what is your plan for the next 50 years? I told him, my plan is for the next 1,000 to 2,000 years. You will realize it shortly. Thank you.